something that draws the eye. The lines are clean and sharp, giving it a very modern, almost futuristic look. And those LED headlamps, they're not just bright, they're practically works of art. But it's not all about aesthetics, you see. The B6E's design is also quite aerodynamic, which is crucial for an electric vehicle. The lower the drag coefficient, the better the range. And speaking of range, well, we'll get to that later. Now, the interior of a car is just as important as the exterior, wouldn't you say? I mean, it's where you spend most of your time, after all. And I have to say, Mahindra has done a rather good job with the B6E. The cabin is surprisingly spacious, even for someone of my, shall we say, above-average stature. The seats are comfortable, and the materials used are top-notch. But what really caught my eye was the technology on offer. The dual-screen setup is very modern, very sleek, and the infotainment system is surprisingly intuitive. Now, this is the part I was particularly interested in. How does the Mahindra B6E actually drive? Well, I'm pleased to report that it's a rather sprightly thing. The electric motor provides instant torque, which means acceleration is brisk, to say the least. And because it's electric, it's incredibly smooth and quiet. You could practically hear a pin drop while driving this thing. But what about the range, you ask? Well, Mahindra claims a range of around 400 to 450 kilometers on a single charge, which is quite respectable for an EV in this segment. Chapter 4. Charging capabilities, power up for the future. Of course, no discussion about an electric vehicle would be complete without talking about charging, would it? Now, the BE6E supports both AC and DC fast charging, which is always a good thing. With a DC fast charger, you can juice this thing up to 80% in about half an hour, which is rather convenient, wouldn't you say? And if you're charging at home, well, an overnight charge should suffice for most commutes. Mahindra is also working on expanding its charging network, which is always good news for EV owners. Chapter 5. Features and technology, a symphony of innovation. Right then, let's talk about the toys, shall we? Because the Mahindra B6E comes loaded with them. We've got all the usual suspects, of course, like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking. All very important safety features, I'm sure you'll agree. But there's also a rather impressive sound system for those who enjoy a bit of in-car entertainment. And of course, you've got your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, because what's a modern car without smartphone integration these days? Early 2025. For another spin.